Hello, good people. It's your girl, Jocelyn M. McGuire. And welcome to Can You, and I'm talking about you, handle the truth? Once again, welcome. Hey, like and share. Show that you care. Listen, go over there to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, Jocelyn N. McGuire. Listen, this is what I specialize in. I specialize in breakthrough counseling, women's ministry, also mental health, and I do specialize in hmm, so many other things. But however, listen, I'm so glad you guys are here. Go tag someone. Tell them to get in here right away, right away, right away. We are here today, and our topic, our hot topic is warning, warning. And we have a special guest with us, and he's coming on stage now. And let me introduce him to you. Presenting Woke 9. He practices natural healing, history, and energetic frequencies. Also, my middle child and most handsomest of one, Woke 9. And his name is government name that I named him is Jarrell Jamerson. Hey, let's welcome him to our podcast today with a mighty applause.
You just couldn't keep me as woke now, huh?
Well, I just want people to know that, you do have a name. I did name you. I named you Jarrell, but he preferred to go by Woke 9. All right, and welcome to the podcast. Let me set out my disclaimer before we start. Um, this podcast does not reflect any religious views or ethnic groups. Anything that is said or discussed on this podcast is alleged, and it does not affect the podcast. Can you handle the truth? These are our own personal opinions. All right. Thank you guys for joining in. Warning, warning, warning. Warning is a sound of alert. It's the present possibility of danger or problems on the horizon soon to come. The warning signs could be either weak or strong. However, you have been warned. The occurrences of issues occurring in our world, people be alert and vigilant. Once again, you have been warned. Um, we're going to start off tonight of some events that has occurred in our country, and that is still occurring as we are speaking about these different occurrences that are appearing, and the views and opinions, they seem to not be very favorable among those that are just viewing, sitting back from afar and just being witnesses to what is going on. I wanted to start off with this one particular incident that I don't know if you all have heard about it or not, but it's been a while back. and I wanted to bring this up, that the thing about unfavorable actions or comments that we as a world of people with various opinions and thoughts and various views on how we interpret certain things that are occurring in the world. Woke Nine and I, we were speaking about the missionaries that were attacked, due to telling the Africans Jesus is not white. The African people crashed out, and some missionaries were hurt, or they received extreme brutality from the African group of people that they were telling and explain, trying to explain that Jesus is not white, and they were the people retaliated with such information given to them. Um, well, Nine, let me ask you something, because you was informing me about it, and you had brought it up. It's something that has happened, and I knew about it. But we did have a discussion regarding why was they so unacceptable in receiving this information.
So, first of all, thank you for having me. Second of all, I like the topic warning, 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 because now I can give my disclaimer for the people who may know me. This is for educational purposes only. Do your own research. Argue with your mama, not me. But yeah, so the Africans, they was so upset, and I believe that they was upset because it went against everything that they was taught. Yep. So like, how we wasn't reading before, and they want you to kind of like go by a certain guideline when you're dealing with the Bible, and that's what they was teaching them over there, and probably showing them illustrations of a sweet baby white Jesus. So once somebody came over there and showed them something in the book, and they didn't agree or seen something and got a different understanding, it's hard to accept change, especially when there's people that done died over that book.
So you believe that they were, what can we use the word, that they were somewhat like brainwashed into
Yes.
believing, and they could not accept the new facts or things that they were not informed of or have expressed or read, that the description that was given in the Word of God. Do you believe that when people read the Word, that maybe it's something they skipped over, or could it be something they fully did not understand?
Yeah, so it's not any way that you can understand. You have to treat learning all the same way. The same way you learned in school is going to have to be the same way you learn the Bible. You can't go to Samuel chapter, this and that, if you ain't even read Genesis all the way. You can't do none of that. You have to read it in chronological order. That's one, two, three, four, and so on in order to have a somewhat of a better understanding. Because other than that, you're just going by another man's perception and word that we all done went by, because this is how I was introduced to us. We was introduced to white Jesus, because I remember in my great grandmother's church they had a picture of white Jesus hanging up. So we was introduced to white Jesus. So until people started reading for themselves, and like I said, you got to read in order, because the pastor I don't know if he's misguiding or if he really don't know himself, but he might know more because he done read a couple more chapters that he can repeat back to you. But if he ain't reading in order, then he don't have an understanding as well.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree with that. Only what you would it's like what you take in and digest is what you regurgitate back out. And
Exactly.
if information received is wrong, then information going out would be wrong as well. That's like a programming a computer system. If the whatever is programmed in the computer system will come out the way it was programmed, and if there are any discrepancies or any errors, well, guess what? Those discrepancies and errors will be replayed even though it was incorrect information. And the people will take it as being the truth because it was a computer and it has the information and all the information input is correct. So, this is the reason why we say warning, warning, warning. You must, and it's a mandatory thing if you want to better your educational views or you want to better your dialogue that you should study and read for yourself. So this is what people must do. They must, they said, if there's something you don't want the black man to know, the black people to know, they will say, put it in a book because they believe that we are illiterate people that will not attempt to read or discover new information. So this is things that we as black people, we must educate ourselves. We must read. We must discover, truth, and we must stand on that. We just can't let things keep sliding by as they have been sliding by, as to where it's not um, we're not giving the respect. We're not given the respect, the top respect that we should be given. They are treating black people, African Americans, as though they are second class. I'm not going to say second class citizens because they do not even want to call us Americans. They want to put something in front of it. If it's not Negro American, if it's not uh, uh, the Black American, and now they have rebranded us once again as being what? African American. There are no European Americans. It's not spoken of. There are no German Americans. And these things are continuously going on. So, people, warning, warning, warning. Open up your eyes and your ears and hear and see what we are surrounded by and how we as people are being downgraded. And I would say we're being downgraded as to not even being like a human form to those that are biased. And that's just my personal opinion. The next thing that, what do you think about that, Woke Nine?
So, warning, warning, warning. You was right. You got to use your eyes and ears. But key thing is only believe half of what you hear. I mean, none of what you hear and half of what you see.
That's what they say.
None of what you hear and half of what you see. And the reason why half of what you see, because things can be circumstantial. So don't pass judgment Half of what you see.
Hmm. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. I definitely, and that's a very old saying. That's a
Hmm.
very old saying. And I think a lot of people have forgotten about these old sayings as to where we would be on more alert. We would be more alert. Like these various hangings that are occurring in this day and age. I believe that the Jim Crow factor has not really left. I believe that the biased opinions of the Black people is not fair. We have been given a tough rap. We have
I
been
hate to cut
given
you off, but the hangings been going on since the early 1800s and still going on today.
is
It's just
still going
more
on.
common because we got cameras.
Yeah, it's still going on today, and they are making allegedly that Black people are hanging themselves. No, I totally disagree with that particular statement altogether. So, people, warning, warning, warning. These things are occurring today, and we must take a stand. We must stand for our rights. Now, we are not animals, we are intelligent, creative, motivated, innovative people that have build and contribute to this country that we live in, and everything that has been invented that will help the American people, that has helped not only American people but around the world, inventions. And we are not giving credit under underlining credit of what we as a people have contributed to the well-being and what the structure and the infrastructure of this nation. And they don't want to give us the credit. They want to take out the history books. They want to take out the history books and not give us the credit of what we have contributed. We must take a stand. We have got to take a stand because it sounds like to me they are really trying to what? Eradicate us, to erase us as though we never existed. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I don't agree with some of that stuff you said. Um, but definitely, um, we need to unite for sure. But
Hmm.
standing for our rights, we don't understand that it's all a game. You know, um, it's kind of hard to explain, but everything is already pre-written. So as everything is pre-written, that means it's pre-scripted. So everything you see on the news and stuff like that is pre-scripted. Because if I get to going off on here and get to, saying whatever, they gonna cut the laugh. They only let so much go through. If depending on how sweet you talking, if you ain't going off the Richter,
Hmm.
But yeah, we need to stand. All right, we don't need to be playing that game of politics because it won't work in our favor. But we have to not think so small about um, names and titles when we should know that we are the aboriginals to the planet. We started this thing off, so we should be getting respect on that level. You know, we started this thing off, not just here in the Americas, all over this planet. We started this.
We're actually everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We are actually everywhere, every
Yes.
continent, every
Yes.
space there is. We we're there.
Yes,
We're
yes.
there. Black people are there. You wonder, well, how did they get? How did black men get over in China? How did the black man get over there in Argentina? How did the black man get over there in Germany? How did the black man get over there?
So speaking about the history, and you saying they trying to wipe us out of history, they've already did that. So
Mm,
that's why you have to go to school and learn their history. Yeah, because history wasn't taught like that. History is a word of mouth type of thing that got passed along through the generations of the family.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but once they came and got everybody sick, disrupted the family, they was able to feed the kids whatever they wanted on the information side. So we
Okay.
already was written out of their history books. Their
Mm-hmm.
history books showed them as the Victorians.
Okay, we do have a comment here from Cynthia. Cynthia is one of our number one fans and supporters of Can You Handle the Truth? Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia says, no, we as people never will commit suicide by hanging. It's impossible to hang yourself in a high tree branch with their hands tied up behind their backs. Yes, they're trying to eradicate us. But if they continue to do this, God will fight our battles. Thank you, Cynthia, for your opinion. We appreciate that, your comment. There's no way no one can hang themselves. No way. And if anybody believes that this person hung themselves with their hand, I mean, like, what? That's a magic trick, isn't it?
No, I mean, she's saying that they can hang themselves, but not that high up in a tree. Like, if that's the case, then and they get up that high in a tree, they would decapitate every time
Every time with
because
their hands
they
tied.
would have to have either a ladder that wouldn't reach, and just I don't know how to balance yourself like that, or they had to get all the way up there and kind of jump down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. Now, um, I like to get on the subject of there's so many different things that are occurring in our society as far as justice for us or the appeal for us as black people. In the justice system, it seems to be teeter totter as to where there is no fair play when it comes to the discretion of legal rights and things that have occurred. Now, what I'm talking about now is the Lancey case, where the mother killed her children, and we have supporters that are supporting her as to saying that the husband did it, the husband set it up. And she is saying that she has some type of psychosis going on, such as postpartum um, stress or had that going on, and this was a contributing factor. Now let's set this up. Let's mind this part right here, that this woman, I would say she's pretty well off. She has a husband, she has a nanny that helps take care of these children, and she seems to have a very concerning mother that supports her. She takes medication for these mental um, things that are going on with her. She's on various medications from various psychiatrists or doctors that prescribe them, and she's taking this medication. However, I find it very difficult for someone to take all this medication and you would know the effect it has on you. For one, she is a what, professional nurse, and if anyone would have knowledge in this medical field and about prescriptions and things like that, I would say that would be an individual that actually work in the medical field and have done their studies and should know that there are adverse effects in mixing medications, especially psych medications. And she was having these ideals, destroying, killing her children, and something was telling her to kill her children. Now, she is not the first individual mother to kill their children or to kill their child or to cause serious bodily harm to her very own offspring. She's not the first. But however, these supporters that are supporting her and saying that they do believe, okay, some say they believe it was a psychoalogist thing going on with her, and she could not what control her very emotions. Well, you got these women, and this is all it was on TikTok, and these women, they are in solidarity, standing with her in reference to the killing of her children. That they understood that these thoughts can come to your head. That sometimes you want your children gone. You want them destroyed. You want them dead. You want to cause them bodily harm. And these women, uh, they were giving out, they was videos, mhm, creating videos of their personal experience on how they felt about their children or other children in their own personal opinion. And then we come to find out what was happening. They were giving these ideals and thoughts. This one lady, she was videotaping, had her baby in her arm. She walked past a wood chopper or woodchuck, what it is that you put trees
Chipper,
in it. What now?
wood chipper.
A wood chipper. And she said she thought about throwing her baby in there. I never thought about destroying my children. And there are women, many women that have had multiple babies, that have had 5 children, 8 children, 12 children or more. And it seems that those little children, they survive infancy, toddlerhood, being a child, being a teenager, and they have grown up to be adults. I'm quite sure that women go through something, but why kill your child? Why kill your children? Now, they just want to give her manslaughter. Okay. Now, it done went before the jury, and I don't know the conclusion as of yet. Had the jury even come to the possibility of um, of a verdict regarding this particular case. I don't know if they are still out in liberations, or I don't know the conclusion of it. But however, um, Vote 9, before, because we was having this discussion, and before he was saying that, watch, these women are going to take these women, children are going to be taken away from them. Don't you know the next 2 days that what was happening? That exactly what was happening. Okay, we have a comment from Cynthia. She said, "Do you remember when a young black woman had a newborn baby, and her nephew put the baby in the microwave. We brought that up. China. Her name was China, right? China.
China Arnold, free China
China.
Arnold.
Yes, China Arnold. The Justice Department never looked into the case of postpartum psychosis, but she was blamed for the murder. She is now serving a life sentence. She said this case was in Dayton some years ago. Yes, we were recalling that case. Cynthia Arnold, that was her name. I think she was a
China.
China, China Arnold.
Yep.
Okay, China Arnold. And I was reading some history on it. They say she was not psycho. You are something going on with you
Yep. Your
that you
28,
put your
your
baby in the
28-day
microwave.
baby, 28-day old baby.
28 day, 28, baby
28
only
days
28
old.
days old.
Yep.
You put it in the microwave. But they charge her with what? Murder. They did not oh my God, they didn't drag this
They didn't
case
raise
on.
$1 million on GoFundMe for defense
And they did, I done heard it all.
like they
They
did
did not
Lindsay.
even support her at all, saying that maybe this is what had happened to her, that this is a psycho thing that went on. So she had a psycho breakdown that occurred. And but being that she was black, they went ahead, they charged her with what? They charged her with murder, and they gave her what? Life in prison. Life in prison. Now, these women, oh my God, these women on TikTok videotaping their children. What was the, excuse me, what was the one woman saying about her kids? She had a picture of them, and she didn't look at them as being human.
Yeah, she was one of the ladies just giving her input on the case, and she was trying to give her view, and she said, "Don't look, don't address the case and look at the kids as kids. Picture them as like ceramic vases."
Picture, is that dehumanizing?
That just lets you know, like I believe that all the women that support that type of thinking or can whatever quote unquote relate, I think that just shows us that there are a lot more people dealing with mental health issues than what we know, because a lot of these women hold high positions, got double doctrines, got, they you would think that, with all this education and stuff like that, that they would have a different view of things. And then some of the women, I'm a man, right? I can't get postpartum, from having a baby. But there were some women that supported her that didn't even have kids. So, we're not walking around with MRI scans or CT scans or with different type of exams or tests to get people to see if they're clicking on all cylinders. We just take their word for it, or they can repeat or recite a good game to us. So we just go for whatever. But I think this shows the world, especially the women who would work with kids. You with kids 8 hours a day, 6 to 8 hours a day, you're gonna get frustrated. And if you have these intrusive thoughts about harming kids, I can only imagine what the women who think like that, who works with nonverbal kids, are doing. I can only imagine.
Yeah. Did you hear this one that this it's a man going around, and I think I just found the video on TikTok, and I want to share it with you guys, where he is listening to these various recordings and video of these women with these intrusive thoughts, and he's going around getting information on them and getting them fired from their jobs. And this man is to be applauded for real. Okay, let me turn this up right here.
They ought to turn that into a task force. We can't see it. There you go. Today, I got confirmation of a few of them who've been fired. So, Maria F. from Utah, you were a babysitter. You've been fired. Leslie from volume went out. Gabrielle B. from Texas, you were a nurse. You've been fired. And Jocelyn L. from New York, you were a nurse and you've been fired. You see, being part of the whole conspiracy theory of Lindsay Clancy and that her husband actually did it is neither here nor there. But when you post videos saying that you too have had thoughts of taking your own child's life when you are in childcare in some sort of way, yeah, you have no business being around other children. Thank you to everybody who sent me these videos because these people have no business being around children. Hi, my name is Quinn. Yeah, so she had a great support system, and you forgot to mention, when we think of doctors, the majority of us think of men. No, all of the doctors that gave her prescription were women.
Wow. 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 And um it was just, to me, uh these thoughts of killing your children, that's pure evil. That's pure evil. And what I don't understand is why attack the children? Why not leave a note, leave the children, and you walk off? You tell
Well,
them, hey, listen, I can't do it anymore. Tell your husband, tell your mama, tell their granny, tell your sister, tell her auntie or uncle, tell somebody, I cannot do this anymore, and walk your tail out of everyone's life. Instead of, you want to kill them. Why
now
not walk away?
I can't really judge Lindsay, but the people that are supporting it and the ones who are making up stories, like there's a lady that's going around, she went viral, and she's saying that the husband did it because he's a Gemini. When
I
they don't know that the wife, Lindsay, sent the husband to run an errand, and she hunted down the kids, killed the first one. The second one ran to the father's study to go try to get the dad, and the dad was gone on the errand because he probably knew his daddy was gonna save him, and she killed him right there. So, like I can't judge her because I don't know necessarily how they was raising them babies. It could have been overwhelming or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but all the women that support it just blindly like that, I feel like they shouldn't be working around kids, at least not right now in their lives, until they
right,
quit
right,
thinking
right.
like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cynthia, she said, I had two babies at the same time. It was rough trying to keep up with them, sleep schedule, food, baths, etc. But it never came into my mind to kill my babies. I love them too much.
Yeah. There's a saying, an old saying, mothers used to always say, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. Well, nobody was trying to make good on that claim. I think some people take it too far.
Right. Yeah, that was the old saying. Yeah, I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was one of those old sayings. But however, with this thing going on, with this particular case, I want to play another video, and to how this thing is just swelling up into something else that we don't see coming. I said, warning, warning, warning. See, we have to be warned by what we see. We have to be warned, pay attention to what we hear. Because this thing can catch on. like uh, like a plague. It could be contagious because a lot of people are there are a lot of weak-minded people. I mean, weak-minded people that will follow the crowd, the trend, and make it become a trend. This is what's happening now, and this is what we are experiencing now. But listen to this.
Can't hear it.
Outside. This is what they think the husband did it. They're crazy. They've lost their mind. You know why they're waving for murder. Do you know why the woman is in a wheelchair? Did you even notice that she couldn't tell us she's a murderer?
Bring it up.
The window after this. So she should have pushed her. They say that Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. You know, this was a incredibly privileged woman.
Bring it up.
She had a nanny, and she's still complaining that she needed help. She could not have got more help from the system that she already have received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away, and she chased him down and killed him. Laurie Wilkins. What you just said was absolutely disgusting. Thank you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You. And you can hear that he's not. Okay? Because it's true. You clearly don't care, so pipe down. Okay. And by the way, men watching this, if you have a woman sat next to you on the sofa who is defending this murderer, you got to think deeply about this. I've seen weddings. So we need to have some empathy with talk to your women and find out what are they thinking. They're defending this woman. I don't think anybody's defending what she did, but you can have empathy for what she went through and how she. I know many women that this has happened to. No, they did not kill their children, but they also. Where you failed to. Well, they should be commended because they did. I've had it with you. Oh my God! They should be commended. They're going to kill their children. Lisa, she's a murderer. I can't hear it.
That's amazing how that news lady, how she was so um, emotionally connected to the case that she was not willing to hear him out and to come to some sort of agreement. Yes, she tried to murder her children, and she's trying to say you should feel sorry for her. Now, I'm like this. My personal opinion, I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for any mother or any parents for that fact that would kill their own offspring or kill someone else's children. Um, I feel no empathy, sympathy for them at all because what they have committed is an evil act of taking an innocent life, a life that cannot defend itself, a child that's looking for your protection, a child that's looking for your nurturing, a child that only can depend on what you do for them. This child is in survival mode and trusting the parents to what? Protect them, to raise them, to guard them, and to cause no harm to them.
Yeah. So first, I want to say, if they give Lindsay, um, insanity, um, then I'm screaming free China Arnold all year. You know, but I can't save her kids. Yes, I feel sorry for Lindsay. I feel sorry for her family, for her kids, for the father's family, for everybody that is involved. But I would like to know that we did something to protect the next kids. That's why I can't support the women who support that and think like that, because then that puts other kids at harm. This is called warning for a reason. It puts the other kids at harm. So we can't have those type of people around our children.
No, no, because you have to think about what sort of defense do a child have against an adult? What type of offense the child cannot protect itself? And the reason why I say I have no empathy for her, because I believe you thought about it. You thought about it because then you, after you committed the act, you tried to commit suicide, but it was unsuccessful. Now you are in a wheelchair, whether for life or not, I don't know. But however, I have no empathy for a person that would abuse, neglect, or cause the demise of an innocent child, even a child that may have some mental development issues or behavior issues. There is no reason to kill this child. If you feel as though you are so wound up and so frustrated, then you need to seek help and walk away. You do not need to be around any children, even if they're not your child, even if you are in like the daycare system or the school system and there are special need children and you feel as though you want to cause them bodily harm, then you got these thoughts, then you are in the wrong career. You're in the wrong field. Period. Period. So I know I still don't have any empathy for a murderer, whether it
Yes.
come by mental English or things that are happening personally in your life. Let me see what Cynthia says. Cynthia says these people have a history showing us what kind of evil, murderous spirits they have. I'm sad for the children and the family that's left behind. Yes, I'm sad for the family. I'm sad for the father. I'm sad for the grandparents. I'm sad for the surviving children. No, that survived some of these attacks. The whole family structure has been affected. But I do agree with you, Cindy. Throughout history, they have shown what type of evil, murderous spirits they have. And nobody wants to talk about that. People, be warned. Warning, warning, warning. Thank you, Cynthia. Now, I don't know what her verdict is going to be. They want to charge her with manslaughter. That's a lesser, much lesser charge than murder. Uh, I think with manslaughter, I don't know if you can get life with manslaughter. I'm not quite sure. Is there a possibility of parole with manslaughter? I'm not really sure about that.
I think
I don't know
manslaughter
if it.
starts off at 2 years to 10 years or something like that. You can get 2 to 10.
So I guess it depends on. Mm, hmm, I,
So
it
that's
seems
like, let me ask you a question. You said that about murderers, right? And how you felt about murderers. What if somebody was to get murdered by accident? How would you feel about the person who committed that act?
murder by accident.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be murder? Wouldn't they be charged with if it was an accident and something like assault, felony assault, or
No,
um,
that'd be considered manslaughter.
manslaughter? Okay,
Yeah.
manslaughter. Murder by accident. If an accident can occur, And when you say murder by accident, you mean they were killed by accident, not necessarily plotted to murder that individual by accident. I believe it was something by accident. There was no plot to destroy that life or to take that life.
Yeah,
So there's a difference in plotting and there's a difference in accident.
yeah. Because you got to think about like over in France and Paris, they don't really do too much like shooting, but they do a lot of stabbing. And you think about it, stabbing is more personal, just like choking someone. It's
Well,
more
it's up close.
it's more personal and up
Mhm.
close. Yeah. Yeah, and it's more direct. It's more anger with it. Because anybody can shoot a gun, bop bop. But to run up on somebody and shank them, stab them, or to choke them out and choke them until the life's out of them, that's a whole totally different energy right there.
Whole totally different energy. Now that to me is the murderous um, in your spirit, in your head, in your being, that you have this evilness that you want to make sure this person dies.
Hmm.
You want to make sure that even though a gun can get the job done, it depends on where you shoot them at. But however, when you come upon a person and you are in bodily combat and you are touching each other and you have a knife, a shank, or whatever to stab them, and you repeatedly stab them over and over again, then you meant to murder them. You meant to snuff out their life. I can recall an incident where a woman was with her boyfriend and she was married, but she was with her boyfriend in a bar. And I don't know how the confrontation started, but however, he stabbed her like 70 something times. He meant to kill her and he succeeded and did and took her life. So that bodily contact, you try to make sure you murder this person. This is not well, we just going to charge her with what they charging her with, just assault.
Who, Lindsay?
Yes,
No, no, I think she's either going in for murder or she's pleading insanity to go to a psych ward.
but
I
they
don't know
said,
if there's an in between.
well, there was on the news, they were saying that they're going for the assault, trying to charge her with assault. I don't know that, I know that's lesser time, but however, when you get up personally upon that person, that individual, that child, to take out their life, you meant to murder them. You put your hands on them. You took your hands on them and you killed them until they had no more breath in their bodies. So that to me is murder. Cynthia said, I would definitely be angry, upset about it, but it wasn't intentional. So I would have to still breathe over it differently. Mm, mm, that's difficult.
Yeah. The issue is that we have to be able to work on self and find inner peace no matter what situation, no matter who's around, no matter what environment. You need to be able to gain peace from within. The laws of the universe states that the law of correspondence starts from within. That's the magnetism. That's where the magnets is. And then you attract different situations or different types of people. And that's law of attraction. So we have to change from within, the way we think, the way we move. We got to start, be somebody else. Because if you ain't making it work, or if you ain't happy, or you feel sad, or whatever, depressed, if you're depressed, you definitely need to get in tune with self. Because depression is just from you comparing yourself to others, and that you can't live your life like that. Your life needs to be uniquely formulated for you, uniquely, not a
Mhm.
robot, not cookie cut. It needs to be all about you. So you need to be able to create that for self and have to go deep within to do so.
And I agree with you on that because there have been studies and various things going on where these children and young adults and teenagers are taking their lives, and like you said, the comparison of someone else. They are comparing themselves to someone else that they don't even personally know. They just view them on these social media platforms, and these people are influencers and they influence them, and they believe that they start comparing, as you said, start comparing their own lives and want to be like that individual, but come to find out it's something that is impossible. Cynthia has a message. She said, I agree with you, woke nine. Yes, you have definitely have to within. It has to be that change within. You cannot compare your life. You can't compare your life to someone else's
Yeah.
and think that they are better than you because they will make it appear that they're better than you. And it's something that you said, woke nine, in the very beginning of this podcast. Believe half of what you hear and none of what you see,
No,
or something.
backwards. None of what you hear and
Okay,
half of what you see.
and half of what you see. All right, all right. Thank you, Cynthia. Since you agree with me also, but it's a world of comparison, a world of comparison, and the world's view is off balance. The world view is off balance, the way things are done in our own country. I want to bring up this part right here, and we have spent a minute over our time, but that's okay. About this import of foreign meat coming into our country so that we can consume it. Talking about meat from Argentina, and the farmers, excuse me, and the farmers here in America are going to be the ones to suffer. And I believe that we will suffer as well as a group of American people, because for one, we don't know what's in anyone's meat, but we do know that from some farmers in the United States, I would say that they are producing and feeding their cows the correct things they need instead of pumping them with a bunch of chemicals, which I don't know which is true or not. But however, I feel safer and more reliant upon what we grow in our own land. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's important to eat from where you from, because that's the reason why. Like, when you go over to Africa, you need a shot, or vice versa or whatnot, because you're mainly supposed to eat really where you from. You don't want to mess around and get sick.
Right. You're right about that. Because I'm gonna tell you, the cows over in Africa, they are not fat.
No, they got very little water
I've been
supply in
there.
Africa.
I've been there. I've been there. I viewed it my own eyes, and they walk the streets among the people. The cows walk the streets. The goats walk the streets. Okay, and if you can find a chicken, guess what? He's walking in the streets too, among the people. And you wonder where. This is why you all are so sick, because now you got these animals hooves on your vehicle. Oh, their hooves have been on the ground, touching feces, different various things, and then there you go touching your car. And I told them this is why you all are sick,
What about the
because
ones that's walking around having relations with the cows? You know, you done seen them videos.
you know,
They over in Africa acting up. But you got to remember though, you know, like we not really the blacks like me and you. We're not really over there like that. You know, they want to say that we are the same, but we're not. It's like saying a Chinaman and a Korean is the same, and they're not. You
they're
know,
not.
so they're still not kind of like all the way civilized just yet. But you know, wherever we're saturated at is where it's civilized at. So you know, like we was in Europe, civilized here, civilized here. You know, but we did get taken over in war. We got conquered, and because I don't know what people thought, but if we have all the cotton here and we was like number one production of cotton, what y'all thought we got taken over by some naked people? Nah, they was wearing clothes. We had been shipping them clothes. We been a corporation. Public bathrooms been around for over 6,000 years. That means that there were corporations.
Yeah, as they say, there's nothing new under this here sun.
It sure isn't. They just that's why you
Nothing
got to
new.
go to school to get indoctrinated with lies.
Teach you how to accept lies.
That too.
Yeah, teach you how to accept lies. Well, you know what, guys? Our time has been very well spent. Thank you, Woke Nine, for being our special guest today. We really do appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me here. And like I said earlier, everybody, this is for educational purposes only. Do your own research and don't skip around. Read in chronological order, especially if you like in the Bible or in any Bibles or any books. Read in chronological order because you're not going to be able to get an understanding if you don't. You're going to be forever confused.
And don't skip over something that you don't understand. No, they start giving the list of names and generations and this generation. That is all very important.
Yeah.
It's very important to know that information. Now we're about to leave here today, and this is what I always let me see. Got one more message here. Let me read it. Um, Here she goes. Cynthia, thank you. Cynthia says, thank you, Evangelist and Woke Nine, for an amazing topic and comments. I always take away the good information from these podcasts. Thank you, Cynthia. It's greatly appreciated your support and your comments. I do appreciate that. Thank you ever so much. Now, this podcast will be airing later this evening on YouTube, which is another platform that I have. Jocelyn McGuire. Make sure you go there. Press that notification bell. It says a bell there, and it says subscribe. Press that bell subscription. And this way you'll never miss any episodes of Can You Handle the Truth? Listen, oh, let me get my music going here. I love you, but most of all, God loves you best. Listen, you see someone, be a blessing to them. It's a okay. Tell someone you love them. Give someone a hug. You never know that the words that you may give or the actions you may display may be saving a life. Do that. Show kindness. Acts of kindness. A-OK. It's good to do that. Even if you're not expecting anything in return, but let's give out more love. Let's give out more encouragement to others. That's what we need to do for each other. All of us, we need to do that. It's good to give and it's good to receive as well. Listen, like I always say, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Hey, you know what? Use your spiritual discernment, but don't forget, you better use your natural discernment as well. Keep your head on a swivel, baby, and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your life. Once again, thank you for your comments, Cynthia. Thank those that have viewed this podcast today. Warning, warning, warning. But most of all, I want to thank Woke 9. Thank you, Woke 9. Thank you, Woke 9, for coming on to Can You Handle the Truth? You have brought some valid information. You have brought life into the people that, hey, you're going to start from the beginning, baby. Don't start dead in the middle, because you'll never get the true understanding of what you're reading until you start in the top of the book. All right? Listen, enjoy each other, love each other. Social 1, you care. Woke 9, very inspirational. Thank you. And hopefully this is not your last visit with us being a guest. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for your thoughts. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You have been a great source of information and a very confident host that has shown that you know what you're talking about. Thank you once again for appearing on Can You Handle the Truth? If you have any inquiries or anything that you like for to be discussed on Can You Handle the Truth, we do have an email address. Can you handle the truth at gmail.com. Can you handle the truth podcast at gmail.com. We're looking for our banner here, and here it is right here. I'm going to show it to you guys. The ticker, show it. There it is. It's going across the top. But what it says is, can you handle the truth podcast at gmail.com. Send your inquiries there, or you can send your inquiries to Can You Handle the Truth on Facebook group as well. Thank you, people. And if you want to remain anonymous, you know I'm good at keeping secrets. So if you want to remain anonymous, we will do so. And like I always say this, I'm going to leave this with you. You see something, say something. Even if you have to remain anonymous, but don't remain silent. All right? Remain anonymous, but do not remain silent. Thank you guys for joining. See you next time. Enjoy your weekend, and God bless.